Hello and welcome to another episode of the Dutch Oven. Today I got a really cool guest for all the hip-hop heads in the crowd, and I think I'm sorry, who are you?
I am the almighty algorithm. Your viewership and engagement are weak. Weak! You hear me? Let's go. Start the video already.
Alright, so I'm sitting here with one of the most creative MCs you might ever find. He goes by AFRO. All flows reach out.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me, bro.
Thank you so much for having me. I think you're a very unique person in the hip-hop world, and we need more people like you.
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
On that kind of step, like, how do you feel about the state of hip-hop in 2025?
You know, I feel, in my heart, I feel a little bit mixed. I feel really appreciative for the artists that are able to find a bit of mainstream success that have lyricism in their back pocket. But at the same time, there are a sea of, I would say, newer generation younger than me that are kind of looking down on lyricism, or kind of, you know, they want the easier access to, or they just want an easier plate of food to digest. They don't really want to think too much or go too deep into the lyrical roots. Or I played Rakim for a younger cat recently, and he's like, what is this? Why does it sound so dated? I'm like, dated? What are you talking about? I'm like, who do you listen to? He put on some new cat that's like, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, of course, this makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy. But I'm always an advocate for the younger generation to pursue the older roots, just to see what you can learn from, you know, what you can gravitate towards, or there's so much fly stuff that are originators, the people that came before us, even MCs and oldies and rock and any musical genre. I always encourage the younger cats to go look and go dig deep into older history that we have, because there's so many gems there, you know. And a good chunk of the younger generation after me that I'm starting to encounter, they don't want to put in that work, or they don't want to go look around. They want to hear what is happening now, because it's either relevant or it's, you know, not dated in their words. So that hurts me a bit. Yeah.
It reminds me of the Bo Burnham song "Repeat Stuff." I don't know if you've heard this, but he just talks about how, you know, you just distill things to the simplest little thing and then just repeat it and repeat it and repeat it. And I think the TikTok phenomenon has also kind of fed into that, where like the attention span of listeners is strong.
Yeah, and coming from somebody who has to use all the social media platforms and has to make quick clips, and to take that into consideration, it's a trip, because I'm a movie nerd and I'm used to watching. I could watch like 3-hour films, 2 hours if they're 40-minute films, and then I can hang with the runtime. But I know we do live in that, and I have to take that step back and realize that we're living in that time where the attention span is shrinking. So, you know, it's definitely, it's a bit weird for me. I'm still getting a bit used to it, you know.
So if you could make a super group with yourself and 3 other MCs that you respect, or living or dead, who would you have in your super group?
Wow, man, like that was tough. I would say right off the bat, it would be Sean Price, SIP, rest in peace. It would have to be Doom, rest in peace. And for my third, I'm gonna have to say, you know, it might be a left field choice for some people, but just to balance out like the more hardcore lyricism with just a little bit more character and some goofiness, I would say the ODB, probably Dirty.
Oh, fun.
So it'd be me, Sean P, Doom, and Dirty.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
wow.
And I think Dirty would not only have some dope verses, he would handle a lot of the hooks too. I'm like, Dirty, you know, get the hooks and then make them fly, you know.
Oh, absolutely. I could very much see that working.
Yeah, just off the top of my head, I think that's a quick one I would assemble.
He wouldn't exactly be a hype man, but if everybody else is doing their thing, it would almost be that role. Yeah.
I would happily be the hype man in that group. Like if I was assigned, like if they're just like, you know, you could come on, do a couple verses here and there, but let the OGs, you know, I'm like, sure, no problem. You guys are the greatest that ever did it.
Amazing.
I'm just happy to be here, you know.
When you're freestyling, I definitely can see like you're thinking really fast, but there's also like a meditative element to it too. How does freestyling and songwriting, how do those two compare? Or
with the songwriting, I just really do my best to I try to take my time with my verses as far as like the content, or if there's a specific topic or anything like that. With freestyling, improvising is very quick. It's speedy, quick. One of my main goals is to see something, vision it, or if somebody throws a word at me or anything, I try to find another word to rhyme with it, or another scenario to rhyme with that, what they just threw, or just go off of what they just told me, but in rhyme form. So I used to read the dictionary quite a bit. It was a punishment from my mom. My mom's like, you have to read this dictionary
Wow.
to act out.
Nice, Mom.
At first I hated it, and then I started using it for my benefit. I'm like, wait, actually this isn't too bad. As I started growing older. And when I'm freestyling, I'm always looking for certain words. Or if they give me a word, I'm looking for another word that rhymes with that, or it's half and half, or I'm just bouncing off and trying to find things to rhyme about what they just said, or to go into it. So it's really quick. Improvising is very quick. Freestyling is very quick off of the head. But when it comes to songwriting, I take a little bit more time. I'd probably take a couple more minutes, or at least to an hour, when it comes to creating a song, because a song is more there's a lot more elements to a song as far as like production and putting things together and composing, and
Fascinating. Now I've understand that you've gotten into some voiceover work. Is that for cartoons, or is this for video games, or what are we up to?
Oh, voice act. Well, as far as voice acting, I haven't landed anything major, any placements, but I've done a couple. I know I narrated myself. I did it's not really too well known, but I also do true crime mystery sometimes.
Ooh.
And I have a podcast on it, true crime stories by FREESTYLING. And it's me just narrating. I put it all together. It's me narrating the details of the case, and from A to Z. And I also do movie reviews, both in video and audio form, and a vocal. You can find it vocally on the podcast too. Yeah. So if anybody wants to sit down and just hear it in audio form, that's on there.
Incredible.
But as far as voice acting, that's something I really would love to pursue. I would love to voice act in cartoons, like land in, I don't know, a Family Guy gig, then land an anime gig, like all over. Like I would love to just try to do different types of genres too.
We were talking about movies, of course, and we're both big time movie nerds. I see you're oftentimes wearing a Shaun of the Dead related shirt.
It's one of my favorite hoodies ever.
Yeah.
Probably my favorite hoodie. Yep.
I am a huge fan of the comedy horror movies.
Yeah.
Like that is a very fun and safe genre for my brain to take in. Can you give me a top 3 on yours?
Oh man, it's so hard. That one's a tough one. Right off the bat, Shaun. Yeah. Shaun would have to be my favorite horror comedy.
Pretty perfect movie.
To me, it's just like it's a perfect blend. The comedy's hilarious. The little horror elements that they put into it are genuinely a little creepy, and there are some pretty intense moments as well. So it's just a nice, great, well-rounded film with different. There's a little bit of something of everything in the movie. That's why I love it so much, and the replay value for me is insane. I know every single line of dialogue in it. Another horror comedy, man, that's so tough. I would have to say Tremors.
Ooh!
Tremors.
Yes!
Yeah, Tremors. I'm a big Tremors guy. I love 1 to death. I even love 2. A lot of people, I think 2 is quite underrated.
I have seen the entire series, man.
Yeah. Not a big fan of 3. 4.
When they start flying and shit.
Yeah. 4 is a guilty pleasure. It's not great, but it's a guilty pleasure, the Western. 5 didn't love, 6 didn't love. So my very favorite one is number 1, Kevin Bacon.
Of course.
It's phenomenal. And then
the guy with the elephant gun.
It's fucking amazing. Michael Grove, Burt Gummer. It's like,
it's
just amazing. I remember watching Tremors when I was, I want to say 6 or 7 years old, and it just stuck ever since.
Absolutely.
My third one might be a little bit left field for everybody because it's not as like hardcore. It's rather really kid friendly. But Jim Varney, Ernest, is a big I would say role model and influence on my upbringing. A lot of people wouldn't expect that.
No, you're kind of young for that, I would think.
But yeah, Jim was just a huge like inspiration on me as far as just like. He's a very goofy character with Ernest, but he was also a really serious guy off screen, and he was very professional.
Really?
And he actually had a Shakespearean background. Yeah, Jim. And so my one of my very favorite movies of all time, and it technically is a hard comedy. I would have to say Ernest Scared Stupid.
Wow. Okay.
With the trolls taking the souls of the kids.
That was kind of peak Ernest.
Yeah. That's my personal favorite Ernest. And, I love Ernest Goes to Jail. Ernest Goes to Camp. Ernest Saves Christmas. But Scared Stupid, I think it's a really really goofy. Really, even if some people can say it's a bit cheesy, I would understand if you would think that, but the hard elements are actually pretty creepy when you really rewatch it. You're like, wow, this is actually pretty damn creepy. So I would I would give honorable mentions to Evil Dead, and to they're like the top of the peak when it comes to horror comedy.
Sure.
But yeah, those are my personal 3 favorites.
Nice one. I gotta say, Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
Oh, there you go. That's incredible. That's one of my favorite films.
Just keeps hitting over and over.
I love when he's about to hit him. He's about to stand. He just goes right in the wood
chipper.
He's grabbing his leg. It's awesome. Yeah.
What a moment. The way I found you was, I'm gonna mess up the name of the song. Freedom Form Flowing.
Yeah.
With Gift of Gab and of course R.A. The Rugged Man. Can you tell me a little bit of the story about how that came to be?
Yeah, so Gab had reached out to both of us, and then it just came together very well. At first, I had recorded the verse at my crib. I record mostly myself at my house, and I sent the verse to Gab. Gab rocked with it, and we connected. And then next thing you know, I found out through RA was like, "Yo, we're thinking about shooting a video for it." I'm like, "Dope, I'm with it. Sounds awesome." So we get together. We shot it in California, around my area. I would say about maybe an hour drive from where I am. And we found a nice mountain. We linked up with the director, the Joker, and his team had put together these cardboard masks for the video.
Oh, they made that.
And they made it almost on the spot.
Damn.
We got together, we shot it, probably knocked it out in a couple hours. And Gab was one of the most nicest, humblest people I ever met. And not only that, Gab is a huge influence on my style as well, as far as like, alphabet aerobics and chemical calisthenics. His work with Cut Chemist and Black Alicious. Like he's just a phenomenal MC.
Absolutely.
So I was already a huge, pretty big fan when he reached out, and how humble he was and just how awesome he was as a person. I loved him as a person. He's just really, really good guy. Really good guy, and one of a kind too. And he was also battling a lot of health issues near the end of his life, but he was still sharp with his sword. He was still bodying songs. He was still killing it. And someone that I definitely look up to. Yeah. So the video came together very well. It's really funny too. 'Cause I think it was either Gab's homie or one of our homies. I think it was Gab's homie. He's the one that's like dancing in the video. It came together very well, and it was a really good vibe while we were shooting too.
Yeah, the whole thing just.
Yeah, and we did knock it out pretty fast. I would say we probably filmed it in probably a good 4 or 5 hours or so. And that involved, we had to go up that mountain in a big monster truck. Joker, the director, had like a monster truck, and just to go up there, it was crazy.
Absolutely amazing. Wow. Well, I am so grateful for the time you've given me. Like, I feel like I could chat with you for hours, but this man is a very important person. You must understand.
Thank you, brother. Thank you so much.
For real,
Appreciate you, brother.
Seriously.
Thank you for having me.
Check out everything that this gentleman has done. AFRO, A-F-R-O, F-R-O is how he spells it. He's a creative force not to be messed with. He will create even more great things in this life, and you really should be on his team if you're smart.
Thank you so much. My guy. Awesome.
Much love.
Thank you so
Hey.
much, bro.
Thank you.
Like and subscribe, or there will be consequences.